As big screen gaming is gaining popularity, manufacturers have started making TVs with better input lag and response time, with some models that are nearly on par with monitors. Top-tier models also tend to have FreeSync variable refresh rate technology, as well as an automatic low latency mode, so you can spend less time tinkering with the TV settings and more time gaming. Sony has few lessons to learn where the industrial design of a great big television is concerned, and sure enough the X900H wears its considerable size lightly. The bezels enclosing that huge expanse of screen are slender and discreet, and the feet on which it stands are a similarly skinny flattened V shape. It seems unlikely that a TV this big will be anything other than wall-mounted, but should an owner be in possession of a surface wide enough to stand it on, there's more than enough space below the bottom of the screen for a substantial soundbar. Depth of a touch more than 7 cm means the Sony is not exactly skinny, but then its full array local dimming arrangement is bound to add more than a millimeter or two. The panel itself is a VA-type LCD, which in broad terms has to be considered an upgrade on the IPS Edge lit panel Sony deployed on last year's equivalent model. The higher brightness, greater color volume and improved screen uniformity promised by a full-array VA panel ought to more than make up for the rather more restricted viewing angle when compared to IPS-, and it's worth bearing in mind the XH90/X900H doesn't feature the X-wide viewing angle technology Sony's flagship X950H range is toting. Prospective customers should be sure every viewer will be able to sit more or less directly in front of their new TV. Connectivity runs to 4 HDMI inputs at HDCP 2.3, a pair of USB inputs, an Ethernet socket, aerial posts for 1 terrestrial and 2 satellite TV tuners, and a composite video input. Wireless connections amount to Bluetooth 4.2, Apple AirPlay, Wi-Fi and Chromecast. As far as outputs go, there's a headphone socket and a digital optical output. The best 4K TV for gaming that is LED that we've tested so far is the Samsung Q80T. It's a VA panel model that has excellent picture quality, exceptional motion handling, and great gaming features. It has a high contrast ratio that's boosted by a full array local dimming feature, producing inky blacks for a great dark room gaming experience. The response time is excellent and it has an optional black frame insertion feature that can help clear up the image further. It can interpolate lower frame rate games to make motion look more fluid, however, it does add a bit of input lag. The refresh rate is 120 Hz, and there's FreeSync support to reduce screen tearing. For PC gamers, it supports most resolutions and can display proper chroma 4:4:4, but unfortunately, it isn't G-Sync compatible. It handles reflections exceptionally well and has decent viewing angles thanks to Samsung's Ultra Viewing Angle layer. It has excellent color accuracy out of the box, so you shouldn't have to calibrate it to get the best viewing experience. Sadly, there's a bit of dirty screen effect on our unit, however, your experience may vary. If you like gaming in HDR, then you're in for a treat. It has an impressive HDR color gamut to produce vivid colors, and it gets bright enough to make highlights pop. Like all Samsung TVs, it runs on Tizen OS, which is user-friendly and has tons of apps available through the App Store. Overall, this is one of the best gaming TVs we've tested so far, and with an LED panel, you won't have to worry about permanent burn-in. The best 4K OLED gaming TV that we've tested so far is the LG CX. It delivers stunning picture quality, as it's able to produce perfect blacks by turning pixels off completely, making it a fantastic choice for darkroom gaming. It has wide viewing angles, it gets bright enough to overcome glare easily, and it has exceptional reflection handling. Its out-of-the-box color accuracy is impressive, and its wide color gamut helps deliver HDR content with vibrant and saturated colors. Its motion handling is truly outstanding. It has a native 120 Hz refresh rate that makes motion look incredibly smooth, a near instantaneous response time that results in almost no motion blur in fast-moving scenes, and an optional black frame insertion feature to further improve clarity. It supports FreeSync to reduce screen tearing, and it's certified to be compatible with NVIDIA's G-Sync. It has an auto low latency mode that detects when a game is launched from a compatible device and automatically switches the TV to game mode, saving you the hassle of having to do it manually each time. Unfortunately, OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in, which occurs when static elements are displayed for an extended period, such as a channel logo or a video game's user interface. That said, it shouldn't be an issue for most people who watch varied content. All in all, This is the best OLED TV for gaming that we've tested so far. Sony has dropped the striking awkward easel design that made the A9E and the A9F so distinctive. The A9G embraces the minimalist, black simplicity of the company's Xperia phones and Walkman MP3 players. The TV is a simple, black, bezel-less OLED panel with only a 0.3-inch black strip framing the active display. An additional quarter-inch strip of dark gray runs along the bottom edge, featuring an indicator light in the center and the Sony logo on the left. The screen is ringed with a slim band of black metal along the quarter-inch thick sides. The TV sits completely upright on a flat, brushed gunmetal stand. The stand is shaped like a rounded rectangle, providing the only notable curves on the A9G's design. It's flat enough that the bottom edge of the screen sits only 0.2 inches above whatever surface you set it on. The A9G has a conventional design compared with the company's previous OLED models, but one helpful feature carries over: Sony's Acoustic Surface Audio Plus. Instead of conventional speaker drivers hidden somewhere on the TV's casing, the A9G uses a pair of 10-watt actuators to resonate the OLED panel itself to produce stereo sound. The actuators work in tandem with a pair of 20-watt subwoofer drivers to produce bass, for a 60-watt sound system that produces a larger sound field with better imaging than conventional TVs. With each year, LG's OLED panels get stronger and stronger for gaming. The E9 is 2019's model, and it packs in many of the same features from the previous year's E8, albeit with some key changes. The panel is still among the thinnest of all 4K TVs, and it brings unrivaled black levels thanks to the OLED tech, allowing individual LEDs to be completely switched on and off. That's how you get such deep blacks and the clarity and sharpness of image with them. It makes the E9 panels perfect for darker games like Metro, Exodus and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Even better news is that G-Sync is enabled on all E9 series TVs when you have game mode active, so you no longer have to suffer through skipped frames and torn pictures when playing at higher frame rates. Away from frame syncing, HDR isn't toned down in LG's game mode either, so you still get that vibrancy while benefiting from a better response and refresh rates. Unfortunately, you can still only play 4K at 60Hz on the E9 series, but the response rate has been boosted over the previous year, and now sits at a handsome 6 milliseconds for 1440p and 13 milliseconds for 4K.